What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So today, we have a very special episode and live stream for you. We have, this has been kind of like a couple years in the making. We have been trying to get this person on the live stream for a little while, so we're really excited. And we are just going to give a little backstory here. And just give this person an intro. So Ragzy is kind of a true polymath, a Lego sculpting wizard. She was a finalist on Lego Master Season 1. She's a visual artist who built a massive installation for NASA, Google, Ripple Labs, professional poker player with a knack for high stakes reads, a crypto trader, meme coin evangelist. One of her calls and claim to fame was for Brett and Pepe. And then I think one of her latest obsessions is Bucky. So we're going to get into that. And also TikTok powerhouse with over 1 million followers, blending quirky art, comedy skits, and Web3 breakdowns. And she has coined herself as the OG meme queen with a combination of Crashiest Clay and Must Stop Morad. So I don't know. Without further ado, we are going to introduce Miss Ragzy. What's going on? Welcome to the channel.
Hi.
What's up? Yeah, welcome. We're super excited to have you. I think your microphone, I think, is off. Just want to make sure you're good. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, yep. That microphone, man. Hey, man, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So I'm really excited to have you on the stream. I had to remind Ragzy that 2.5 years ago, because in crypto, we're literally doing all kinds of stuff all the time. And we actually, to give a backstory of how I even know who you are and discovered you, is through Wendy O. We did a live stream together, and I was gonna find it. We'll have to find it, but first we'll pull that towards the end of the live stream, because I got some questions for you, and we're just gonna basically kind of highlight your stuff for today. But yeah, we did a live stream together. Do you remember?
I do, because you had refreshed my memory beforehand. And yeah, once you kind of gave me the details, I do remember it. I just do so many like online interviews. Sometimes it's hard for me to remember what I said or what happened, but yeah, I do. And I love Wendy O. She's fantastic. So
Yeah. Shout out to Wendy O. I always call her the crypto mom, the crypto mom. And she's one of the accounts that really kind of reigned in true of the, make sure you take profits and dollar cost average, It was like cryptos are us George, and Wendy O were like the mom and pop, of the last cycle.
yeah, she's amazing.
But yeah, so let's get into basically your backstory and what you're all about. So the thing that really actually fascinated me the most about you is your Lego mastery. Okay, so I want to get into this because if I want to, correct me if I'm wrong, I try to do my research here. You quit your job in 2020 to go full time after a dream inspired you to your first Lego piece. And so then that led you to be a finalist on Lego Masters, which debuted on Fox in 2020, and with your partner who was Sam. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you were building like 6-foot murals. You've done murals for these crypto events. And that's initially what I saw, and what caught my eye was these like giant Lego pieces, which are amazing. If you guys have not checked them out yet, but we're going to show them on the screen here shortly. So what got you into this, and what was the catalyst that got you into Legos?
Yeah, sure. All right, just for you, I'm gonna hit the camera button. I have no makeup on.
Oh, I'm sure you look gorgeous. I'm sure you look gorgeous. I'm sure you look just fine.
I'm gonna try and turn it on. Oh, it's not even letting
I was
me.
very I was actually genuinely upset that you weren't gonna have the camera. Yes, let's
Oh, we got
go,
it.
baby, let's go. Why would you not have the camera on
I
with
look
with
awful.
that Brett hat on?
You like my little boo?
Oh, Labubu. Oh man,
He's got.
I have mixed thoughts of on the Labubu, but I will say I like the Solana shirt on or the Solana sweatshirt on
That's
it.
why I got him because he's a Solana. He's a Solana Labubu. What's up, man? I was like, I can do a poker in my poker gear. I can do it in my poker gear. Uh, I'm typically not a morning person, and I am doing this interview just for Dano because he's awesome, and I was actually hyped. I loved even your little decal you made with the booty on it. I loved it. I
Yeah,
loved
yeah,
it.
that thumbnail, I couldn't help myself. I was like, because you do make me laugh when people are saying generational bottom. You're like, well, I'll show you a
Yeah,
generational bottom.
I loved it. But yeah, how I so with the Lego is uh yeah, I've always been an artist, right? But I think a lot of artists struggle with this is that I was worried I couldn't do it full time because you're scared you're not going to make a living. You're
Yep.
scared that you're not going to be successful. It's extremely hard to be a commissioned artist when you're just it's contingent on if you're going to sell a piece of art. And I think that deferred me for a really long time. I always have been a mixed media artist. Actually, prior to Legos, I did my art pieces out of playing cards. No surprise, as somebody who
Mhm.
plays poker,
Yeah.
and I just always saw like painting on a canvas. Like though I respect it. Like I respect like people who have so much talent painting. It was just too 2D. It was too boring. It was so it's some I feel like anyone can make a painting, though there's different skill levels.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something more complicated. And that's why I've just always been fascinated by mixed media. And then eventually found my way into Lego. I haven't told this story in so long. It's probably been a couple of years, but how I got into Legos was actually just had a dream that I made an art piece out of Legos. And
Amazing.
I didn't have them in my studio. I didn't have them in my house or anything.
Did you ever play with Legos as a kid? Like, did you ever build Lego sets as a kid?
I'm sure I did, but I think the spark comes for my grandfather was a stonemason, and he would build a lot of things, and I think that somehow registered with me later as I evolved in my career, and something about it like kind of triggered this fascination with the Lego blocks, and I had a dream that I built something. And it was actually called Lego Lincoln. I'm staring at it. It's on my wall over there. And it was out of Lego. And it was just a random dream I had. And the next day I went to the Lego store and I got the materials to make it. And that was that's why I literally just had a dream that I made something. And I think as artists, that's very common. Like artists they'll think of a lyric if they're a music artist, or your brain's constantly going, you'll write down your ideas. And
Mhm.
I remember like I dreamed this in my sleep, and in my sleep I was like, this is an ingenious idea, don't forget it when you wake up. And I woke myself up
You were lucid. Yeah.
to write it down so I wouldn't forget it.
That's
And that's
amazing.
the piece that put me on the map as an artist and kind of like pivoted my career. So it's kind of crazy.
Oh, that I love that. That stuff like that gives me chills. Like it's amazing because if you can when you have a dream like that, some people would just go, "Oh, it's just a dream." Like, "Oh, what was that?" But if you really can tap in and be intuitive and have the instincts and the intuition to notice that as a sign from God or a sign from your spirit guide or whoever it is telling you you need to pay attention to this. You need to listen and you so you it's pretty cool to hear these stories of people who actually took the dream and put it into reality because that's kind of like how our thoughts, if we can put an intention on something, we can actually make it true. So that's amazing. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so that's how I got into the media, and then with the Lego, and then I had submitted it for selection for an art show that was a very competitive art show. They would turn down artists every year, and it was the first year that I had two very high profile galleries fighting over who was going to get the piece. And it ended up being selected by a very like high end gallery in Greenwich, Connecticut, and that was my first art show with the Lego, and it ended up selling out. And as an artist, like this was my first big art show in like a major gallery. I remember like I was shocked. I was actually shocked. And
I,
I was like, it was like a dream come true. I was like, what? Like, I remember the day they called me. She's like, I have some bad news and some good news. She's like, the bad news is I need more art from you. She's like, the good news is you're sold out. And I'm like, I'm sold
Whoa.
out. She's like, you're sold out. She's like, somebody came in, they bought the entire wall because they loved everything that you made. And I'm like, wow, like, it was like my first show. And I was like, oh, and that's when I knew I was on to something. That's
Yeah.
when I knew I was on to something. So
And so, okay, so I have to, because sometimes it's not always like that. That's why you were shocked. Creators and artists kind of have the blight of a high expectation or false expectation. Sometimes they think 1,000 people are going to show up to their event, or they think everyone's going to mint out their collection, or whatever it may be. And so, have you always had that kind of strike of success, and has it been kind of up only, or have you had some points where you were like, I'm about to quit. I'm going to give up. This sucks. What am I doing with my life? Have you had the creator arc? Have you gone through this, or has it just been like, whoosh, you know?
after that moment, it really was up only. It's like
Wow.
so crazy to me. But before that, it wasn't. The struggle to get there is always, I think every artist like has to struggle first before you make it big. And I could sit here all day and tell you all the struggles I had trying to just break into a cutthroat industry where it's so contingent on people's perception, right? Because it's kind of like it's kind of an industry, the fine arts industry at least is an industry you can't really buy yourself into because if you want to be profitable, like, I definitely know there's artists out there that have like kind of fabricated their career, right? Because they had the money to say they're an artist, but then you're not profitable because you have to sell the pieces to kind of like supplement that image, right?
Hmm.
So it's like for the majority of artists, it's you actually have to be making art that people want to collect and that resonates with people. You're never going to make it. So it's different than like the music industry. Art is like it's so personal and people have to actually like your work, to put the money on it and buy it and for your have it in a museum or whatever. It's a very like curated market.
Yeah.
So it's not about being good, or bad. It's about will your art resonate with enough people that you can sustain your career? And that's why it's the most difficult industry to make it in. And I knew that when I started, I knew it was going to be hard and I didn't care. And I was going to try anyway because I knew if I could make it in the fine arts, I could make it in anything. It was going to be yes, up only in the arts and downhill only with anything else I wanted to do because that's the hardest industry to crack into. And luckily, my ideas translated the best with the Lego media. It's my top selling media. Though it's not the only media I use, it's definitely my number one, requested media.
Hmm.
And I'm grateful for that, and I'm always busy and still booked to this day. I have like a couple, clients that, want things even for art basel and stuff like that. So yeah, so I feel it's like I feel fortunate that people love my work, but it is always a struggle, for all the artists out there. It's always you're always going to have that initial struggle, and the struggle is just getting people to know you exist. Because if you're talented and
Yeah.
people know you exist, people will gravitate toward your work regardless. So
Ye
that was the hardest
yeah.
part for me.
Yeah, well, I'll say you have been doing a pretty good job, and I really want to highlight some of your pieces for the crypto conferences. And let me get my screen shared here so I can pull it up properly
I
because
love
these are super cool.
I love the one you had there with the I think it was consensus. I had done that one.
Yeah, let me share my window. Okay.
Oh,
So this is super cool. Let me see if I can get our faces down on the bottom. Okay. We've been trying to get the best view. There's so many different little spots you can put the camera. Okay, there we go. All right, so or actually let's just do this. I'm gonna maximize it. There we go. Okay. So where was this displayed and how long did it take you?
that was consensus, and that was consensus Austin. I loved my outfit for that too. The rocker cowgirl. I loved it. Yeah, that was consensus Austin. It was on display for the crypto event. I actually like love that piece. I wanted to have that like, barn feel, and I remember that was actually one of the most difficult pieces I installed, because if you see in the back there, I had the barrels going with that wooden wall. I had that wooden wall custom ordered because I wanted it, you know, to be all bougie,
Yeah,
like
fit the
country
vibe.
bougie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the material I used to adhere the mural on the wall, it wasn't working. And I remember having a panic attack, and I like, not a real one, but like I had to go to Home Depot and get a bunch of like carpentry stuff to get that to stick on the wall the way you see it now. And it was a huge pain. And I remember I was there for like 12 hours. I was like dripping in sweat by the time like the convention center closed had just finished. And it was actually the most difficult piece to hang, but I
Damn.
wanted it on that wall so badly. But I'll never forget that. I literally got there to set it up and it wasn't working. I had to improvise, and like I said, my background is my grandfather was like a master mason, so I figured it out no problem. But it was still
Yeah.
it was still a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I figured it out, but I remember, and there was no one to help me, and it's the stuff is heavy too and stuff, and it was but I think it was worth it. It was a very definitely a cool showpiece. Got the outfit going on and everything. I loved it. Yeah. See, I got those whiskey barrels there. I had those like custom ordered.
Yeah, I wanted to give you props on that one. And also it's kind of an obvious reveal of what your favorite meme coin is, right now. I mean, I think you kind of adopted the Brett image very much so. And I'll get into that too because um I have this blunder of mine of discovering Brett just as early as anyone, almost the same time as Crashius, which is like I've discovered Brett and then I went down the rabbit hole of the boys club and those particular tokens because I already had liked, Pepe and other projects that kind of surrounded that time of memes in 2023. And so I had bought some Brett, pretty, good amount, and I round tripped it. I got fudded out of the bag, and I
No.
know I got fudded out of the bag, but I went back in because I was pretty still early. I'd say I'm still pretty early in crypto Twitter, of just kind of navigating all the different accounts and just the whole space with NFTs. Because I kind of came in 2022 using crypto Twitter, and I was just basically watching stuff on YouTube. So, but yeah, I ended up buying back in and but not enough, and I just kind of feel like I just totally fumbled the Brett bag because it eventually, in 6 months, I mean, probably that was actually, it was 4 months, it went to $2 billion market cap, so which is kind of record breaking for a particular meme like that. So how has Brett treated you? I would say it's probably treated you pretty well, but I'd like you to go into what eventually got you bullish. How did you discover it? And yeah, how's it been the Brett community?
Dude, I love Brett. I love everything about it. I rocked. I got my Brett head on right now. I
Yeah, I
rocked it.
know.
I rocked this during the. I love this hat. I made this hat myself. I rocked this during the World Series of Poker. Actually, my Brett gear. I felt like a badass. I loved it.
That's nice.
Uh,
Hey, you got to work for your bags. I say in crypto, if you don't work for your bags, what are you doing? You know, it's like the Bitcoin
yeah,
maxis were working for their bags for years. So
for sure, dude. People loved it too. People were smart. A lot of the poker players asked me what it was and stuff, but. Yeah, I found it, dude. It was so long ago because I was also so early. I believe it was February. I believe
twenty
this
twenty
this
four
seems like
February. So.
for yeah, it had to be
Yeah.
well over a year ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
this
it
was
was
like
March. It was
almost two
March for
years
me.
ago. Yeah, so I'll try and remember best I can, but I believe it was the end of February. Like it was that first week it came out, and I didn't see it at launch, but I saw it like end of February. It was already at a couple mil maybe. I don't
Mhm.
remember truthfully. It was early, but it
And there
wasn't
was a
like day
few.
one.
There was a
Yeah,
few Bretts
there
too,
was.
and
I
that was
don't remember. It
there
was
was
day
one on
one.
Ethereum, there was one on Base, and it was kind of like when Base was launching, it was a little shortly after. Then there was this whole controversy of, oh, this is the real Brett. This one's the,
Oh
because you
yeah,
know how
yeah,
that
yeah.
always happens with some of these projects. There's these, they go, oh, well, this is the real one, and then we're going to CTO this one. And so it was kind of, and it's kind of, you have to figure out and let the dust settle to figure out which one the market, let's say the, whatever, insiders, cabal, whoever you want to call them, whoever's gonna,
This is
you know
time.
whoever's gonna be the, the insiders pushing the one that's gonna be the quote pick that the exchanges buy the supply. And so it was a little
Yeah,
tricky.
I just remember. All I remember is because I was early-ish to Pepe, right?
Hmm.
I was buying memes on Base, luckily. So I was already like in the Base ecosystem because I'm a meme coin trader. So I was looking already on Base. So I was familiar, and that's how I found it because I was already looking, buying and trading memes on Base. And I remember the day I found it and juggling like Base with Solana and other things. So I'm not
Hmm.
only just trading memes on Base. That's probably why I missed it the initial launch day.
Yeah, yeah.
But I remember when I saw it, I just knew. Like no one told me about it. It wasn't alpha. I'm like looking at the decks and I'm
Yep.
clicking and I go on the website. I'm like, this is it. This is gonna be the lead runner. And I shoved whatever Ethereum I had left that had already been bridged to base.
Mm. Just
I the whole thing full corded. And because there was also a lot of volume when I saw it. It's probably why it popped up on the decks. And I was
hmm
like, this is gonna I didn't even like I did very little research. Very rare that I would like ape like that with no research. I looked at it. It was like a decision like on the spot. This is it. And my first initial thought was like, this is gonna be like the next Pepe. But I already got it. Everything like Crash ended up saying registered with me immediately within the second I saw it. I'm like, it's blue, it's on base, it's Brett. This is Pepe's best. Holy
yeah,
shit. This is a standard. This is it.
yeah, yeah.
Everything he said like after, because I didn't even know who he was at the time. Like that's exactly what I was thinking when I saw it. Like this is a no-brainer. This is ingenious. It was
I,
genius. And
it's
I
like,
full
can I say
forwarded. I'm like,
something?
quick,
I
you
have
know?
to say something because I freaking felt the same damn way, and I got the live receipt to even prove how much I faded it, because I was saying all the same stuff. I was like, I'm gonna keep DCAing into this. I'm gonna block, and I just how what you could get so distracted in crypto and cook your own self. You can't blame anyone but yourself. And
Right.
so, oh my god, so yeah, no, I felt the exact same way. It seemed like an obvious play.
It
And if
was,
you were
yeah.
bullish on Pepe, even just a fraction, then it would make sense that this, if the boys club and the with it, either with it being connected with base or the ETH OG memes, that it was gonna be something. But you had to just let the dust settle. That's what was tricky with some of these coins, is that there's this euphoric point, and then there's usually a sell off, and then you have to like kind of have to wait, and you have to become a believer. You end up getting in the telegrams, you end up doing all this stuff, and it's hindsight afterwards, and then you end up getting the price you deserve. But it's still all massive risk, and that's the game that we have to play, you know?
Yeah, dude, 100%. And it's very rare though that I do that. That's how you know if Ragzy apes it on the spot. That's the one. That's it.
Okay.
It's
All right. Well,
done.
now, all right. Well,
It's
now we're
very rare
gonna.
I do that. The
Okay.
last
Well.
time I did that was Brett. It is so, and the last time for that was like Pepe. It's very, very, and the last time for that was Shiba Inu. It's very rare
Oh. Okay.
that
So did
I'm
you?
gonna full port shove a stack in that quickly with like doing very little research. Like when I saw the Brett, I'm like, that's it. It was just a done deal. All the information just hit me instantly, and I didn't even know the character's name at the time. I didn't even know it was Brett. I'm reading for the first time, Brett, and I remember thinking that's the blue one. That was what I thought. I'm like, this is the blue one.
Yeah.
It's
And if
got
you go,
base. Let's
yeah.
go.
And
That's it. And then it
yeah.
was done. It was done after
If
that.
you go into the Pepe lore too, just kind of like you go into those old videos, there's like a lot of like animations. They'll reference Brett, but they'll also have a blue Pepe, like a blue colored Pepe in these old Pepe lore videos. So I kind of just started connected in the way because you're doing this with Rage Guy Troll. Like we go down that rabbit hole of all the 4chan or Reddit memes, these basically like old school message boards memes like Wojak, and they're being tokenized. But there's multiple different ones. Okay, there's all these different liquidity pools, and this is why this is partly one of the things that I want to do with this channel is to kind of help people navigate this stuff because we want at the end of the day we do want retail to come in. We want people to be able to kind of like have this experience that we're having, hopefully not a bad one, because you come in and you have these expectations of like, oh, I'm going to make some money, but it's really like it's not that easy. And if it was, everyone would be doing it, but most of the time there's a higher percentage of people losing money than the people that are making money. If we go to the statistics and the percentages, like that's kind of the reality. But what I would like to do is increase that percentage of people making money because we want to get in things that are liquid. We want to get in things that are hopefully long lasting and are not just flash in the pan, quick TikTok meme, whatever that may be, which usually doesn't have a very much lasting power. So I've been wanting to try and find the things that have that Dogecoin, SHIB, Pepe type hodlability, which is going to essentially give you that sense of quote security of to kind of holding the bag along with a narrative in the culture. So you see that with Brett, right? So that's kind of I know because like I kind of saw that in terms of what Coinbase and how they're doing their marketing. They want to get retail in, and in my mind, retail what they do is very simple. They download whatever the app is going to be popped up the first on the Google Play Store or the App Store, and then they're going to see the first 10 tokens, and it's up to the exchanges and the volume and what they're going to show as the quote trending token. Coinbase is doing this with with their wallets, with the trending tokens. You'll see Brett on there. So good marketing, but we'll just have to see what happens,
Yeah. So I agree with that. And yeah, it's just but I never forget that about Brett. It had been so long since I had done that, something like that. And I like a full port, like I saw it and it was like a done deal. Like it's been so long since I felt that way. It was just a done deal. And then just full port. And then boy oh boy, that was the one. I was like, this is the Shiba. That's what I was thinking. This is the blue one. I was like, this is the Shiba Inu. This is it. Because that's how I got big on TikTok last cycle was I hit Shiba Inu so early and it ended up going to 40 billion. So I was looking, I knew Pepe was going to be the lead one for this cycle. So I was looking for the Shiba. I didn't know what it was going to be because maybe it wasn't going to be Brett. Maybe it was going to be another 4chan or something. But when I saw this one, I'm like, this is 100%. It's a done deal. Like I was like set right then and there. And so I like apes the hell out of it.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, very brave, very brave. It's hard to ape stuff sometimes, because you're like, this could go to zero. And that's what I always tell people. Like, it doesn't matter what you're going into, you just have to have that in the back of your head Doesn't matter what the amount is, you need to be prepared to lose it all. And if you can
Yeah.
deal with that, like if you can in a virtual simulation in your brain say, if this all goes to zero, what will I do? How am I going to
Yeah.
react, you know?
I would not, I would not encourage the audience to do that ever. I'm like I don't think you can be an expert in meme coins because it just sounds whack, but it's like I have been doing this a really long time. And for me, that was an ape in because that was the opportunity in my mind.
Mhm.
Like everyone wants the Shiba Inu opportunity, but the Shiba Inu opportunity is few and far between. It's not common, and that was definitely it. So that's why it's panic mode, full port. And then I went to my ledger to get more Ethereum. I'm trying to bridge even more Ethereum in the base because I just full poured whatever base ETH I had because I knew that was the opportunity. This is it right here, and if you don't get it right here, and then this is it. And I'm grateful I saw it though, because if I didn't, I would have been pissed. I was still bought it, but I would have been pissed because I was looking for it. I was looking for like the Shiba, and so I did. I'm grateful that I got it, early-ish, and then it's like for now we have like tons of opportunities because of the degenerate culture on Solana.
Yeah.
But you see, people don't understand like the difference between ETH is a more liquid chain. So if you really want like, not that Solana is not going to offer those opportunities, because definitely we've had so many centers on Solana. But if you want the meme of memes, the one where it is actually realistic for you to clip a million plus out of it in one shot, because you could have done that with Shiba, you could have done that with Doge. That's
Mhm.
going to be a high cap coin on Ethereum. That's going to be Pepe, because
Thank
the pool is more liquid. It's more liquid.
Can I clap for it? Can I just be like, damn it? I've been saying this. I've been saying this for so long and no one listens and they just want to like go into this stuff it is illiquid even though it has transactions and quote trading volume. Look at the just got to look at the liquidity and then the thing that Ethereum has done for years as is be the best smart contract platform for solid liquidity. Even the institutions realize this now. They know that if they still build on Ethereum, it's more secure, it's still more decentralized in a way than a lot of these chains. And so yeah, so the memes on there, I've had this thesis that I like Wojak. You've probably I've tagged you and asked you what you think about Wojak because that's like one of the most recognizable meme characters in almost every type of scenario. Wojak or Pepe or a Pooh, like there's all these like characters that get used, and you got the troll or rage guy, and but then you see how the whales who accumulated things like Dogecoin or Pepe or Shiba, they're buying these memes. Like you look on their wallets and they have thousands of dollars of a balance of these particular coins. And so yeah, I'm glad you are pointing this fact out because there is opportunities on Solana, there's opportunities on Tron or Ton, Sui, Polygon, whatever you want to go on XRP Ledger. I mean, there's all this stuff. But if you look at the raw like action and things that you could hold long term, it is Ethereum. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I've always been ETH. Well, it's like I was always ETH, but I wasn't going to miss it. I saw what Solana was doing back in the bear when Bonk came out. And I remember that's how I front ran everybody. I was like, I have it on a YouTube video. I said for everyone, I'm like it was 2023, it's like 2024, it's gonna be the Solana meme coin show. I said, forget your altcoins. I said it's going to be Bitcoin and Solana, and that's it. I said it for anybody. I was like, because I saw what they were doing. I was like, Solana is going to take it. They're going to shift the meme coin craze to Solana. I saw it coming to my way, bonk. So I started getting really good on Solana. I'm like, it's time to learn, be a beast on Solana, because
Yeah.
that's where the money is going to be
Yeah.
the whole time. And I end up being right. And it's like, it's not that it's not that there's definitely more opportunity on Solana to hit meme coins and make money, but and there's definitely opportunity to make big stacks, but Solana is contingent on a higher market cap. So it's like, to what we were talking about, to be clear with the audience, they know I love me some Solana. I'm in a lot of Solana.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But for those big stacks, those big poker stacks, you got to be betting on a meme that's going to go to hundreds of millions or higher to get like a sizable, a good sizable hunk out. Where Ethereum, like hundreds of millions market cap in Ethereum, you could clip out a very, very big stack and not like destroy the project, right?
And less slippage too. Like the slippage won't be as bad. Like these people
right.
that are going into these full porting some of these Solana memes don't realize that if they sell, they're nuking the chart, but then also they're getting slippage at like 10, 15, 20%. And then it's just like, if everyone tried to do that at the same time, it's like a bank run on the coin, and that's why the coin ends up going. It's basically it's a bank run on the liquidity pool, because that's the bank. Like, we forget that all the time, and we wonder why charts look like shit. We're like, there's no liquidity in there. But at the same time, you look at something like the Trump coin, and it's got a lot of liquidity in there. The market cap is the highest market cap coin on Solana currently right now, but the chart kind of looks like garbage. It's like,
yeah, it doesn't matter what the chart looks like. It's the liquidity. Trump coin, but see, the Trump has the liquidity because the market cap's so high. So like, to get if you're trying to make $1 million off a meme coin, you have to be like, and you can definitely do that. The strategy for me is different, because ETH, I could just hold it all the way to the top and then clip it. That's what I did with Shiba. But with Solana, a lot of these, you don't know if they're ever going to get as high. So I think a swing trading strategy is much better on Solana. I've done that with many caps, like depending on how high the cap is. It's different categories. You got the trench plays, which are under a mil. You do that differently than a mid cap, and you do that differently than a high cap. I have like all these different strategies for Solana that I talk to my audience on TikTok and my Discord about all the time, because it's not the same strategy as ETH. Because ETH, I could just cherry pick the best meme like Pepe and Bread and just hold it till the top of the cycle, and then that's a done deal. Solana, you have to pay attention. You have to know what category it's in, all these things, and you have to trade it much differently. You can hold something all the way to the end zone on Solana, but that it has to be a superstar meme. Like, I think like the troll, I know you mentioned troll earlier. I think that was a smart one to hold all the way. They recently hit the 280 mil all-time high. Then the tariff sent the market down, but I think that one's gonna like continue to propel. That's one of like the only ones that's standing, that's newish, that I would say you could hold that all the way to the end, no problem.
And this is on Solana, the troll on
That's
Solana?
on Solana, yeah.
Okay, and Rage Guy is on Solana too, right? These are the two meme character projects, just so you guys are getting context of what we're actually talking about, because whoever's watching, these meme projects are based off of drawn memes from 4chan, from Reddit, from basically message boards from like the early 2000s, basically, right? Some of these are origin from like, or late 2000s, I'd say. But then Pepe is like, is the oldest one. But
so it's from a certain era. So there's Troll, and then the Rage Guy is new. It was CTO. The thing that made Troll special, because there was all these PvPs of trolls, trolls all over the place. So this is why lore, contract address lore, became important, because everyone was just stealing shit and PvPing everywhere. So it's got to have something special. I will have this argument with anybody, but people won't have a real smart, intelligent argument with me, because they're gonna lose. Like, people like say she's wrong. You're gonna lose. If we debate this, you're gonna lose. The reason, Brett, like you said earlier, there's P's of Brett all over the place. There's a million Bretts. Why this Brett? This had the narrative. This is a done deal. When I saw it, I'm not gonna, oh, maybe there's a Brett over here. No, it's over. And this was, I don't, I didn't know at the time that I was just taking the risk like everyone else. I didn't know I was going to be 100% correct again, though I did in my mind. It's over. At that point, it's over. It's done. Nothing was going to beat this narrative. It was over in my mind. That's it. This is the Brett. It's done. With Troll, there were so many PvPs. And I'm like, how do I know this is even going to be the Troll on Solana? Well, I found out that was the OG relic contract address on Pump Fund. It was deployed 2 years ago, abandoned, and a group of trenchers resurrected it. And that's a hot story. Okay, so if we're going to pick a troll with all these trolls, this has the best narrative. This is because there's too many PvPs. That was it on Solana right then and there. That's what the community celebrated. That's why it's ended. So with Rage Guy, there's been so many. I have never, like, I got to make a video on this. So this is going to be a crazy story. I've never seen so many PvPs on a coin that had like the least, like the market cap of all the Rage Guy. I bought like 16 Rage Guy. I bought a Rage, different Rage, like a guy thing like 2 weeks ago. Like there's been so many Rage guys.
What you're explaining, this is what you're explaining was what happened with B&B and CZ's dog. There was like 250 CZ's dog name, and he was perpetuating this whole thing of PvP.
Oh yeah, broccoli.
On the broccoli. They were like, what's his name's dog? And everyone was freaking the fuck out. Excuse my language, but everyone was freaking out and buying 17 different dog names. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is insane. And everyone was freaking out trying to buy the right one. And I even was doing it. I bought one. I kind of thought I bought the right one. And I was like, oh, let me see if it's the right. Oh my gosh. But it made me think of when we go back to how you clipped SHIB, how you clip these certain projects, I want something like that. Like where it's like, instead of trying to PvP the hell out of everyone with 17 million different contracts, it's like, here's the pick, but it's going to be tough, but
you got to have a narrative. Well, that's just it. You have to have the narrative for the pick, or it's not going to last, because the thing will just get PvP'd forever. So with Rage Guy, I swear to God, out of all the memes ever in my years of being crypto, for the name and the character Rage Guy, I've never bought more Rage Guys than any other character. I haven't bought more Bretts, more Pepes. Like there's been so many PvPs. So there had to be something else. It had to be something more than just Rage Guy. Because everyone tried to start a community. Oh, it's the community. It's not the community. It's been 20 communities for Rage Guy. They couldn't get it there. Hey, we're going to be louder and better. No, you're not, because I've been here longer. I'm the Rage Guy sis. I'm the one who knows that meme in and out. I bought 15, 16 of them, and I'm telling you, it's not going to cut it. There had to be something else. So when I saw this Rage Guy on Solana, and it was the same story as Troll, where they resurrected the relic, and the contract address on this one by chance was coded. It has the catchphrase in the contract address. I'm like,
really?
This is it. It's over. It's over.
Damn. Okay, so what?
Guys, this one.
I'm trying to find it. So what's the market cap right now? And this is the pump. It was a pump contract.
Yeah, it's Rage Guy, the full spelling of the character's name.
Full spelling, Rage Guy.
Rageggy, because that's what it should be. And the contract address is coded. It's got the catchphrase in the beginning, which is foo. The character says foo in the original comic. It's in the beginning of the contract address. It's done. Everyone is still trying to deploy Rage Guys. I saw one yesterday. It's over. This is it. This has the lore in the contract address. So that's it. And so with the Rage Guy, it's funny because it's not even like any Rage Guy went to 50 million or anything like that. It's like there has to be like a determining factor, especially for this one, because I bought so many, because it's got to have the contract address lore. Because like I said, I bought other ones before this. They didn't work out. Even if it had a community and we have a story, it's not going to cut it because of PvP, or people are going to PvP forever. So the reason why Pepe worked out was because of OX69. Pepe wasn't the first Pepe. It wasn't the first Pepe, but why this Pepe? Because it had the lore in the contract address. That was the best narrative.
Yes.
Brett was on
Yes.
base. That's the best narrative. Nothing's going to beat that. This Rage guy is an OG relic like troll. It goes with troll. And it has the catchphrase. It also has a coded contract address. So that's the Rage guy. And people still want to argue with me. It's just very funny because I was early to Doge, Shiba, Pepe, and Brett. And you know, with the PvP stuff, people get crazy. Nah, she's not. Really? Did anybody else buy 16 Rage guys this cycle? Oh, really? Show me. They're full of shit. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. And
And
I
well,
don't, so that's my feelings on that because it got very heated for that one, which is crazy to me. I would think it would get more heated for Brett. This is the Shiba Inu right here. And, but the base Brett was just so good. It just flew. And it was like, we don't give a fuck. We know what we got. Send it. I don't think it gave anybody a chance, really. But I would think it would be
yeah.
more blood for this one. This is the bread is in my opinion, is the Shiba Inu. You would think it would be that one, but no, they want to fight over the later in the cycle. It's freaking crazy to me, man. They fought for troll though. Like when that troll, the relic came out, there was a ton of PvPs on that troll. Now everyone wanted to do troll once it started doing well, and they were fudded bad. Like the troll coin, it was like it was crazy. The PvPs on troll were nuts, but see, they ended up winning in the end because they had the lore and the contract address. That was the determining factor. If everyone's going to PvP the character forever, you need something else. There's got to be crypto lore, right? So that's
Yeah.
how I've accurately identified all the big senders. And people still get mad at me. They were mad at me because for the Bucky thing, my Bucky tweet, somebody got mad at me. I'm like, if you want to argue with me, provide a better argument on why your thing is better, and I'll listen to it. But it's not going to be better because I already know. You know what I mean? I know in my
Yeah.
head it's not going to be better. Like
It's really
it's
interesting
crazy to
because
me.
we all have some back bias. You know, we do have some back bias, but I do think if you're here long enough, like you've been in this space for how long now? 5 years, six years or so, or
My
since 20,
God, I don't even remember 2017, whenever that
2017.
was.
Yeah, so you from the previous cycle or two cycles back, so you've even had an extra layer of School of Hard Knocks and crypto to kind of see it happen, because we sometimes we participate, but then we'll sit back and watch and we'll kind of see what people do, so then we can absorb that like a sponge. And I feel like that's probably what you've done, and that's your method, is you've watched the timeline fight in PvP over stuff, but then you saw how Pepe, Shib, Doge, or any of these communities really rallied behind something and kind of proven it through just something like the lore, which proves that the community and the lore and everything is just as important. And that's what actually generates the buy pressure for the token, to make people not sell it, to hold it to whatever that thing is, a mission, something like SPX 6900. They have a mission. There's these mission of a Doge getting to $1. There's like, that's lore built in, but along with the community is very important.
Yeah, it's all these things. So like, as somebody who is like crazy about the meme coins, right? Because this is what I do. And you know what sets me apart, what makes me why I don't like crypto Twitter, because I'm never on crypto Twitter. People, they getting familiar with me on crypto Twitter this cycle. I love that you said underrated account. It's true, because I was on TikTok last cycle. I wasn't really on Twitter. So people aren't
Interesting.
familiar with, they're not familiar with me. But the issue I have with people who do this on Twitter is a lot of them, you're a paid KOL. So
Yeah.
you're not successful. I'm gonna say it. I say here, it's a Danny O exclusive. You're not successful because you've been trading the tokens like me. You're successful because you're taking the tokens from the project and going ba 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 about every other project. So you and me are not on the same level. Anyone who wants to argue with me, they're all paid KOLs. You are not on the same level, honey. You better be finding the memes on your own, zero alpha, and shoving stacks, and you hit every blue chip meme in a row, and then you can say you know more than me. And they're so nasty, and I know, and they go like this, and they're ba. They have the gift of gab, but professional bullshit. They're fluent in English, and they're fluent in bullshit, and they bullshit people saying she's wrong, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I am out here like everybody else, like the normal average buyer, putting my own money into these projects when I don't have to. Clearly, I have a huge audience. You think people didn't want to pay me? Of course they did. Projects asking me left and right, please, please.
Oh, I bet you get offers out the wazoo. I bet you
Yeah,
get offers
and
all the
I
time.
say no because and I say no because if it's good, it's something I would have bought anyway. So why would I do that?
Exactly. Exactly.
If
Exactly.
it's not, I won't pay it.
That's what I've always said is like, look, I've gotten hit up by some projects a couple times, and sometimes they weren't even wanting to even pay me at all. They were like wanting me to risk my credibility to promote a video for a project, and they're not even willing to even pay me for it. I'm like, that's even worse. For one, I'm like, you're paying me terribly, and you want me to risk my credibility, and there's nothing that is surrounding this particular project that would make me want to promote it. And then I would always tell them, segue, I would say, by the way, I'm going to tell these people that it could absolutely go to zero, and you could lose all your money. And they usually get crickets after that, because and I'll tell them that it is a paid promotion, and that I will tell them that I'm getting paid to do this video, which a lot of people don't do. They don't say that. They'll make a post, they get paid a couple $1,000s to make some post on Twitter, and Zach XBT has exposed a lot of those accounts by just not even making a video. They just make a post, and they're getting like a few $1,000s either through a stable coin or the coin itself. I'm like, oh, I'm like, what have I been doing?
Yeah, well, it's like
it's
here, it's like
crazy.
this too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing the paid promotion as long as
Of
you're
course.
transparent about it. It's nothing
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something wrong if you've been a paid promoter the entire bull run, and then you're acting like you're some kind of expert,
Yeah.
and then you're trying to act like you know better than me, who has been finding these gems, trenching, and hitting them at almost every single time, and then you're trying to act like you know more than me. You don't. You've been being paid the whole cycle. I had to find things on my own. I'm doing what the average person is trying to do. That's why I'm so likable. That's why people respect my opinion. People scratching their heads with this recent PvP stuff. Gee, why do they like her so much? Why are they listening to her? Because I'm doing what the average person is trying to do, and they are not, because they're getting stuff their opinions biased. Maybe they bought it super early. I DCA'd into even Rage Guy all the way up until over 1 million. You think other people with opinions did that? No, they didn't. They probably got it super early, so that's why their opinions biased. You're not putting your money where your mouth is. And the same thing with Bucky too. In my recent Bucky tweet, I put, you can't pay me to say something's good. Bucky's just good. I DCA'd into Bucky all the way up to like 30 million. So it's not that, oh, she got it under $1 million and now she thinks, I was putting money stacks into it at 30 million. So my opinion is valid. It is better than somebody else's opinion who got something under $1 million market cap. Yes, it is, because I actually put my money into it after the fact, DCA'd up, and all these other people acting like they know more, but you didn't put your money where your mouth is. So it's not a better opinion. That's a bias opinion. You can't even look with a fair non-bias, where even like the Rage Guy is the craziest one, because I'm the person who bought all 16 of them. I got them all early. So why did I pick this specific one? It's because of the lore. And that's the one I think, if there's a future for Rage Guy, is going to win the end. But even with Bucky, this is just such a fucking fantastic meme for Bonk. And I'm going to have a thesis actually coming out soon on that one. It's a fantastic meme for Bonk. So fantastic that you see that first huge green candle to run up. I was buying the top of that. I got that early,
You bought,
and I kept buying it all the way up because I was like, it's a no-brainer to me.
Well, so I'm glad we're going into all this, because this is how you're going to become successful in this game, is to listen to what Ragzy's talking about. Is you sometimes have to put your money where your mouth is, and it's not. And a lot of the times, when you're talking about the people that are getting paid to talk about whatever it is, those same people will come back to us and say, "Oh, it's a skill issue." What do you mean they'll be like, it's a skill issue, bro. And I go, what do you mean it's a skill issue? Oh, like everyone just got liquidated by Binance on 1010. Yeah, that was also a skill issue too, right? Everyone thought they were so safe with their 2x. Yeah, skill issue my ass.
I love it. The
but
skill issue. They get
yeah,
paid the whole cycle. You have a skill. Get the hell out of here, man. If you buy the meme with your own money and you're doing it the way I do, my opinion, it's not like I don't know if better is the word because how can you have a better opinion? But the opinion's more honest because it's more transparent. Because people trying to act like their thing is better, but you got it so early and you're up so big. But like in my case, with all these things, I'm buying DCAing them all the way up like a normal
yeah,
trader would. So
yeah,
the
yeah,
opinion is more honest and straightforward, and that's the part they on Twitter. A lot of these KOLs they don't want you to know that, and a lot of times they don't even want you to know they got paid. They don't disclose the payments a lot of the time, and I think that's
no,
wrong, and I think that's fucked up, and I don't think people should be doing that. And so I just find it
yeah,
very crypto Twitter is a very interesting place because it's I've learned like it's a lot of very bad people that will do anything to make a dollar. They will lie through their teeth. They will do anything for a dollar there. And
mm,
I think it's a very dangerous place to get advice. I really do. I think it's a dangerous place to get advice. I think TikTok is better because TikTok, you can see the person's face. So
yeah,
there's some accountability there. On Twitter, it's all cartoons. So people, the bullshit and the lies are so bad because everyone's anonymous. Where at TikTok, there's some accountability. There's some bad players on TikTok too, but it's
is that
less because there's some accountability. You can see the person, and I swear to God, I wasn't on Twitter as much last cycle. It's crazy. The crypto
dude?
Twitter, you're crazy, crypto Twitter.
I
You're nuts. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. No, no, no. I said I knew we were gonna get into this. I knew because you're OG. Like you've watched it, you've seen it, and I'm glad you're pointing this out because I feel like crypto Twitter kind of almost poisoned me a little bit. You know, I wasn't on it in the way that was now, and it is a double edged sword. It's so interesting that on this website you could get so many opportunities. I mean, I always say you are like one DM away, you're one message away from possibly getting a partnership, collaboration, and or getting noticed by something, whoever. But then at the same time, like you said, there are people on there that hide through a persona, they hide through a profile picture, and and I started laughing because they're literally like, if you see a milady, they have a certain personality. If you see a Sproto, they're like the ADHD schizo fun guy. You know, if you see a punk, they're like kind of like from the old cycle. They were obviously bullish NFTs to be able to get in punks early. So each persona has their own personality, but then like you got to stay away from the bored apes, right? If you see an ape, you just like run away fast, right? No, I'm just
Yeah, and dude, it's 100%. It's like, and my audience on TikTok, because I show my face, and I've been live streaming almost every day for years, like almost every day for years. People know me very well. They know my style. They know my transparency. So I have a very good relationship with my audience, especially on TikTok. So they know the way, they know meme coins are risky. They know you can lose all your money. There's no more straightforward and honest person than me when it comes to meme coins. And if you think it's you, I would love to meet you because I don't see them there. I always like make sure my audience knows the risks. And it's like because I've been there, right? I've been there. I'm trading meme coins, right? Thinking I'm gonna
Mhm.
hit. I let them know all the tricks, all of this stuff, super upfront and honest about like, yo, you could lose everything. This
Yeah.
stuff is not for everybody. It's gambling, right? I compare it to poker a lot because I play poker. And
Yeah.
but they also know there's a strategy I use when identifying what has a chance, what has the best possible chance to send, you know, regardless of PvPs, like what memes are people going to gravitate toward? What do I think has the best narrative and the best use case, right? And so I have just happened to have an awesome track record where I've been able to identify almost every single blue chip 4chan meme perfectly. How did I do that? It was all about the narrative. They had to have the narrative, right? So it's a secret I spilled on my spaces like recently and stuff, but that's also a philosophy of Crashius Clay, who found Brett, right? He's big on narratives. The
Yeah.
narrative has to make sense because
Yeah.
when you're trying to reach a bigger audience, the narrative has to be there. It can't just be the meme because
Yeah.
there's too many PvPs, There's too many chains. You never will find a one if there's not a strong narrative behind that specific meme. And I think Brett is the best example because there were so many Bretts, right? This had such a strong, undeniable narrative. It was destined to be the one.
Mm-hmm.
And you need that in crypto because people steal shit or it just gets spread out all over the place and no one ends up winning. And it's just whatever. So that, there is a strategy to what I do. And it's like, are people's opinions biased? I think when you buy anything, anyone's opinion would be biased, right? But I
100%.
definitely think mine is a very fair opinion, like what I said, because I'm putting my hard-earned money into the token at higher market caps as well. I'll DCA into, I'm still DCAing into Bucky, even on the dip. It was at like 13 mil. Like, if it's a meme I really think could go, I'll put my money where my mouth is. And a lot of people do not do that. So that's my whole thing. A lot of people, retail and all the people buyer, my audience followers, they're like me. I'm like the followers. I'm like the KOL that's actually like the followers, trading, trying to find the next thing. And then there's people up here, they get paid. And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with being a paid promoter. You need to market, fine, but don't be talking shit to the people over here who are trenching. And we're actually finding the shit on our own and putting the money into it, like as if they're trying to act like they're superior in some way to everybody else. And I don't agree with that.
Yeah, it's a very good observation. Yeah, and so I want to clear the air here if anyone's watching, because what a lot of people will suspect or maybe think, you paid me, I paid you, or so. No, we're all doing this for free. No one's paid anyone. We're talking about coins that we are buying personally.
That'd be great.
I know. She probably would have liked it if I paid her.
I give you my wallet address.
Yeah, I'll send you some ticker Bitcoin about that. But
okay.
But yeah, no, I straight up wills, because if you don't have any yet, I mean, this would be a blasphemy if you don't have any in your wallet. But we like, none of these coins are paying us to talk about it on this live stream. This is just stuff that we like, and this is what I always tell my viewers is like, I'm always going to talk about the stuff that I like, and it's not. And of course, I have bag bias, but I will also point out coins that I don't own at all, like that I will give credit to. I'll pull up charts and stuff and be like, hey, I don't even own this coin, but it looks bullish, And so if you want to get into it, go for it. But I have my stuff that I'm pretty locked in on. I don't these days, I don't like getting very distracted. I have my plays as well. But yeah, I just wanted to, like, it's not financial advice what we're talking about. None of these coins have paid us. This is all just stuff that we like and we've discovered. And so I just want to point that out for you guys. And also for the people that took my Bored Ape Yacht Club Bored Ape joke seriously. Come on. No, I don't want to upset anyone. I was just kidding. I was just kidding. The Bored Apes are going to come on and be like, what do you mean? I was like, it's just a joke, guys.
The drama.
It's just a joke.
There's got to be on Twitter, because there's the drama queen. Twitter, you're out of your fucking mind. I was on TikTok all that cycle, and I'm glad. You are the most dramatic, right? That's what I'm saying. Anything for $1 on Twitter, that's not my style. That's
well,
not my style.
Dude,
it's for $1. They will lie, cheat, steal. They're trying to PvP, even Rage Guy did it, acting crazy. All the PvPs. There's a PvP that came out yesterday. Another Rage Guy. It's like it's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anything for a fucking buck on crypto Twitter. And that's not my style. I pick things with good narratives that I like. And, I am very transparent about, like, when I buy things and everything with my audience. Because, too, with a lot of these projects, people say, well, I bought it with my hard-earned money. Well, you bought it with your hard-earned money at 15K market cap, not $1 million or higher. It's a very, very big difference, my friend. So you can't, your opinion is garbage. If you're not buying things like the average trader, like the average buyer, anyone can have an opinion, but your opinion is garbage, because when you're trying to talk to your audience, you have to be putting yourself in the boat, in the same shoes as the people you're talking to. And if you're not willing to get into those shoes, then your opinion is garbage. You don't actually believe what you mean. or you would have been buying it. Like the Bucky is probably the best, most recent example. I was buying that old DC it all the way up to like 30 million, very high. And I bought even more at around like 10, 13 million on the dip because that's a project I like. And I think that they're going to take it all the way, right? That's just my opinion. But I put my money where my mouth was. And I also saw that under a mill, I think around like 300K. And it's like I bid it there, but I was also bidding it on the way up because I believed in it. So that's very, very different than somebody who, we're going to start a project and they're buying shit super low and you're already up so much, but your audience is buying it, seeing it the first time, a couple million. You're not in the same boat as them. So I would just say,
That's the whole thing. Everyone's in a different, it's all relative of where they're seeing it, you know?
Right. And I think that Twitter it's a lot of bullshitters on Twitter. I think people need to be careful and think about that before you buy something. Whose opinion is it? And when did they get it? Did they get paid to say that? Okay, then you can't trust their opinion.
See,
very easy.
For me, the coin that I have just kind of fell in love with was Ticker Bitcoin. It's the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu coin. And it's a good one. And because it's got the lore, like you said, everything that you explained of why you like projects, that is the exact reason why I kind of attributed my attention towards Ticker Bitcoin. It's got so much lore. It came out literally around the same time as Pepe and Wojak in terms of contract history. It's got funny stories. I mean, it's basically a schizo mess, but at the same time, you can't recreate that. You can't, you can copy it, and there's derivatives, and there's so many derivatives that have come off of Ticker Bitcoin. One of them being like one of the more popular SPX 6900 literally was created out of one of the Ticker Bitcoin holders getting rocked in the Ticker Bitcoin casino, which led them to create SPX 6900. So there's this, that's just one lore. Then there's all this other lore of the how with the NFTs, the connection with all these with the actual Bitcoin connection when the contract is all this like crazy lore with it. But yeah, I've bought this coin at the top. I've bought it at the bottom. I've DCA'd all over the damn chart, and it's the one that I believe in the most. I don't get paid to talk about it. They would never pay me to talk about it. And I'll continue to DCA into it, and if it goes to zero or it goes to freaking $10. But I think it's very important to show your audience and show people that you're willing to go down with the damn ship with some of these things, especially with the meme coins. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's my style, right? That's how I got so popular on TikTok. I was willing to go down with the ship because I believed it. Well, if I didn't believe it, I would have put my money there. That's why it's so important. You have to put your money where your mouth is, because if you really believed it, you put your money there. And if you're not putting your money there, your opinion is trash. Getting something super low market cap under $1 million and then it's going up, then you're saying it's the best thing ever. Your opinion is now trash because you're up and you're telling it to other people who didn't get it yet. It's not, it's that's what I'm known for on TikTok, right? And being like upfront. But even like the first big ship I was willing to go down with the ship was Shiba Inu, because that was a risky play to call, because I believe I called it after its first death drop. It had a death, like a 90-day death drop, and people like, it's a rug pull, it's over. People gave me so much. I will tell you, out of all my history of meme coins, I will say I never bought any more of a meme than Rage Guide. I bought like 16 of them, I believe, but I have never had more hate than I did when I called Shiba Inu after it dumped that first time. It was so long ago, but I mean, people were mad that I was still talking about Shiba Inu. They were like,
right there,
scam.
Right there. Can you see it?
It looks like it. That looks like it.
Yep, and then it's so funny that all during the hate, and then they're like, it's a freaking scam, and then and then you get sidelined. Yeah.
But I got hate for it. I mean, the altcoin bros back last cycle hated meme coins, and they hated me for talking about Shiba Inu. And I was like, well, but this is just my honest opinion. I think it's going to come back. And I said, I think it's the next Doge. That was my whole thing. I was like, this is their next Doge. This is it.
It was a second try for retail, to be honest. I think it was kind of like, oh, you missed Doge, here's Shib, and
Right.
they did the marketing correctly. Like it was good.
Yeah, so it was I had my reason. It was so long ago, but I was talking about it after the death drop, and people were coming at me. They were so crazy to me because I called Shiba Inu. And then, but it ended up working out great because it was such a crazy thing to say. And I got so much hate that when I ended up being right, like 40 billion right, people like this girl right here, she knows what the fuck she's talking about. I got a ton of followers. So that's how I got all my followers, because they're like, she said it.
Yeah.
Everyone was giving this girl crap, and everyone was coming at her, and she ended up being not just right, but like
Yeah.
disgustingly right. It went to
Yeah.
not even 1 billion, 40 billion. I was
Damn.
like, disgustingly right.
That's what I'm
And they were
hoping
like,
for with Ethereum and ticker Bitcoin and Wojak and like my thesis for these ETH memes. I can't wait for all the people to be like crying about ETH going over 8K and all of our ETH memes going to the moon. But we'll see.
yeah. It's like you got to stick with, if you know it, you got to stick with it. The Shiba thing, I knew. I was like, this is a done deal. This is the next Doge. It's over. I felt that way about Brett, and I hadn't felt that way till I saw Brett.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I had full cordon when I saw it. I was like, it's over. This is it. If there's going to be a Shiba Inu this cycle, it's Brett. And at the time, and then it went to 2.8 billion. I don't think the bull run's over. So I don't think a lot of these memes have hit their all-time high for the ones that are going to last. We'll see how the bull cycle plays out. But it's like there's reasons why I pick things. It's not just because, oh, yeah, well, it's definitely not because I'm a paid KOL. It's definitely not because I got an early entry. Early has nothing to do with it with me. It's like, is this the winner? Yes or no? Even Troll, I had faded super early because I wasn't sure with the PvPs. I'm like, well, what is it about this Troll? Once I learned the lore of Troll, that was the relic, I was like, that's it. No one's going to beat that. It's Troll and it's a relic. That's done. So I got it first time at 40 mil. So a lot of trenchers would say that's a late entry, but it's not really late in hindsight if it's going to end up being a blue chip. It's really not. So I was happy to bid it there.
Is this the right? Is this the right one? Is this the right Troll?
That's
The pump,
correct.
the pump fund contract one.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the relic contract address. I bid somewhere halfway between that big ass green candle.
Okay, so yeah, this was created 6 months ago. So, and
Well,
so just kind of, and then
well,
the
it
move into
bonded 6
why.
months ago, but it was created 2 years ago, and the trenchers
Ah,
found it. Yeah, because it has to
gotcha.
bond, so
Oh,
it's
okay. So this
old.
was the bond onto pump fund from
Right,
the. Okay, gotcha.
right. So even with like Rage Guy's also a relic, it's only going to show from the day it bonded, but it was something that was resurrected for the day. It was an abandoned contract address. The dev didn't create that. It was abandoned and then
Yep,
taken over
community
by different
claim.
changers.
Yep,
Yeah,
in April. Yeah, April 25. Okay,
yeah. It was
25th.
around East. It was Easter when they resurrected it. I was there. I watched it rise from the
Interesting.
dead. It was
Now, this is a question for. Now say someone is watching this right now. Okay, and they look at this chart and they go, well, it pumped to 240, pumped to 270, and now it's just consolidating. Okay, and we have an obvious support here sitting around 94, under 90 million, and now we're sitting currently at 95. A lot of the support sitting under here right now. Would you say this is a good entry, or would you say, oh, it just probably needs a little bit more consolidation? Or someone would look at this and say, oh, this thing is going right back down to where it got CTO'd.
That's a decision they got to make. I got it at. That's what I'm saying. I got it at 40, so I hit it. I hit like a 7x, so I'm like risk free on it, right? So now it's a different opinion. So you
Yeah.
got to be. That's why I got to be transferred. So now it's a different
Yeah.
opinion. But if I hit a good play, like I will say, if I hit a good play this week, and let's say I make, I don't know, 20 to 30 grand or something, would I put a big chunk into this troll chart here? I would, because I think I can 10x it. but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and it could be what he said. Oh no, because we don't know. It's all going to be contingent on when the bull run's going to get like juiced again. You know, when we're going to be green and the spirits are going to be high. That's when people bid the memes, right? If we
Yeah.
have a shitty Q4, none of your memes are going anywhere. If we have
Yeah.
a shitty
Yeah.
Q4, none of your memes going anywhere. So it's also like the market sentiment in general. But
Yes.
I think if I thought the sentiment was bullish, which I do, and I think I can 10x it, a big stack, I would bid it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I already have it though, but would I bid it
Yeah.
again? Yeah, I would.
And that's what's interesting about some of these coins is like, for instance, ticker Bitcoin is just like that. That's why, I mean, there's been sell pressure on the chart. You look at it and it's just like a heartbeat, you know, it's like do, do, do. And every time I look at those tops, I just look at the time frame and I go, oh, that was when we had euphoric points of meme mania. And
You
it
want
was
to
that,
pull it up?
yeah, I'll pull it up. And because honestly, it's my favorite chart. Like it's honestly one of the more bullish charts that of a meme project, because there's no like major pump and dumps. It's just kind of like, it's just a nice little heartbeat. So let's
I do like that one. And they made a meme of me. The Bitcoin people made is very funny. I loved it.
wait, when?
It was so long ago. I don't know where it is, but it was me laying on the beach, and they put all the little characters on my butt.
Please find that. Please
It
find
was
that.
really, 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 really funny. It was one of my favorite memes that anybody's ever made for me. It was the Bitcoin. Oh,
So
look, you
this
got your little TA going on.
all my drawings and circles. No, it's like, this is always, you know, it's funny when you draw these things. You're like, yep, this is the hope. You know, this is the hope and a prayer. Jesus, take the wheel moment. But why I like this chart, okay? This thing about this chart, it's so different than other meme coin charts that have this type of lore. Every single top here was meme euphoria, and it just looks like a nice representation of the meme trenches for some of these, especially with the ETH, especially with the movements of ETH. So this is why I have this strong thesis on when Ethereum actually truly breaks all-time high, because this has just been a joke. Like Ethereum, like this cycle has kind of been a joke. And I think it's been purposely manipulated to accumulate a lot because they have the ETFs coming in. They're going to be staking the ETFs. They need that supply. They had to wreck us so then they can get the ETH. And then now they're probably going to send it to freaking all-time highs. But if these coins like this were able to have this type of movement, I wonder what the hell is going to happen when we get into like a 6K ETH, a 7K ETH. We start to get in that price discovery of a true ETH cycle. It gives me hope. It gives me a little bit of hope. But I don't know. What do you think about this chart? From your experience.
That's one of Murad's picks. Yeah, that's one of his picks.
And yeah, and the thing is like, I'm glad that I didn't, that I discovered this
Murad.
coin before Morad. Like, because Morad came into my timeline and then I said, oh, cool. I already know this, Morad. Thank you. I'm like, I already know ticker Bitcoin's great. I'm glad you came to tell us
That's good. Yeah, so he did you a favor, huh?
He did me a favor. I was like, who's this?
It.
I was like, who's this guy? I was like, we need more of him.
I want Murad to call my portfolio. I like people with different philosophies. I did a tweet with the 4 I think I'm most like: Crash, Murad, Shadow, and Max, because Bitcoin. I'm a combination of those 4, and there's things I disagree like with people on, but I like that they put themselves out there and they give like a perspective, right? So I like all of Murad's picks. I disagreed with some of his picks, but some I did agree with. And I really respect him because it was the manner and the way he presented. I just loved it. I know he's controversial, but I loved it, man. He's all like Princeton, sophisticated. He's got a thesis. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah. Well, he basically broke it down in a way that was digestible for a VC or a new person coming into the space. it was kind of a slap in the face to the altcoin space and the VC space of vaporware. You know, he kind of pointed out the fact that like, hey, we've been sold kind of a bag of lies through these cycles, because you have all these early investors, and it's kind of almost the same. It's like almost just like a chart of a coin that has these early VCs, like the people that with quote tell you have a skill issue. They get all these early entries that you don't know about, and then all of a sudden you're buying the top of the euphoria, you know. And then and then these guys are dumping on your heads with all these unlocks, and then you get kind of left holding the bag. But and it's the idea of a community guild cult like whatever following kind of can eliminate that a little bit. But it's still tricky. It's still so tricky, because it's like you have to be able to figure out which one is going to have the most asymmetric upside, right? Like that's the whole point. We do want to make money. We're not in the community to you know, feel good about ourselves. I mean, at the same time, it does make us feel good, but we do also want to change our lives. So
yeah, it's
you know.
like I like respect everyone's perspective who's willing to put themselves out there, and I like the way he did it. I also love Crash. Crash is like my you know, when he came out with his thesis on Brett, the first person truly I saw gave a thesis was Crash, and it was on Brett. And I was just like, this is beautiful. Like all the I's were dotted, all the T's were crossed. And like I said, everything he had said registered when I had seen it, but it was the way he laid it out. And, you know, that's his style. He likes narratives. It has to make sense. And that's also my style. And I think that's why we found a lot of the same coins, because I didn't even know who Crash was when I bought Brett, right?
Yeah.
And we had like very similar portfolios. He had like Pepe as well and some other things. So that's the way he thinks. So I respect that about him, and I respect that when he's confident in something, he doesn't back down, because I'm like that. And I like Murad's detailed thesis. I loved it, and I like when we get extra nerdy with this shit. I like some of I like Max for kind of like elevating this idea of coded CAs, because I think it's cool. I think it's hip. I think it works, and I think it's powerful. And I like you know, Shadow with Troll, just like resilient. If I had to describe Shadow one word, it's resilience. Like even his Twitter, I love his tweets. His personality is just resilient, and I think like the Troll needed someone like that, and I think he just gives that energy, you know, and it's like this cool, hip, resilient energy. So I really respect like a lot of different people for the thesis and the things they picked and how they went about it, right? And then you got Ragzy, who's repping Brett. You know, I'm repping a lot of things, and you know, I have my own style, right? I say what I say. Sometimes I'm the sweetest ever. Sometimes I'm sassy, just because crypto Twitter, they're aggressive
Yeah.
for no reason.
You
And
have to have strong skin, you
so
know.
yeah, and even on TikTok, they can be aggressive. They aggressive for literally absolutely no reason, because I gave an opinion and the opinion was actually good and made sense, and that makes people mad on crypto Twitter. Oh my God, it's an educated person saying something that makes sense, and it's not what I think. Let's go be aggressive for no reason. That's how they are.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite place to be, but but yeah, but like I like things because I like them, but I also have like narratives and reasons for why I pick certain things and why I'm vocal about them. Because I trade meme coins all the time. I rarely talk about meme coins on the timeline. So if I'm talking about it on the timeline, there's a very good reason, because I'm trading things, you know, all the time. So I went, why is it that she only picks certain things? There's a narrative there. There's a strong narrative there usually, right? So but yeah, so this was a great live stream, by the way. I love that. I love that. I love the DK. I see everything. I see you. We got the Matrix background.
Yep.
We got my PFP. We got the booty up there. I loved it. Most underrated account. I agree. I agree with that statement.
Well, I had to make you blush at least a little bit. I mean, you know, we had to.
I loved it. I loved it. I
Well,
loved it.
it's funny because I knew we were just gonna like shoot the shit, like we're hanging out, and that's kind of how I like to do it. I had all these questions planned for you, and I think we we kind of hit most of the stuff that I wanted to go through by just naturally talking. So I think we're good. There is one question because we're about an hour and a half in and we've been cooking. So there is one question. This is a great one. So if you could collab on one dream project, like you're just like, oh my gosh, like if you have another dream because guys, if you weren't watching the live stream from the very beginning, Ragzy gave us the story of what actually got her into her Lego journey. And it was from a dream she had. So what would be your dream project? Lego poker tournament in the metaverse? Like what would it be? Or a Brett inspired mural at the Super Bowl? What would it be?
Crypto related? Or
Just like crypto related. It could be like Lego related. Just anything that you would just like your dream project you would love to collaborate, like a specific company.
I'd have to think about it because I have really in my art career I've already accomplished so much. I've done pretty much like anything I wanted to do. If I have an idea, somebody goes out and does it. So it would really I'd really have to think about it because I think being an artist and being known was the dream, and I've already accomplished that, right? But
Let's go.
I
Let's go.
I want to keep going. I like doing my installation just to do more murals and more installations. I'd love to get a gigantic. I like to go big, so I'm known for the murals, and I would like to do another gigantic mural installation in another public venue. So that's what I really love to do. So we'll see. As far as like it's like poker, it's like one dream I had was to play in the World Series of poker, and I did that. So it's like maybe playing the World Series of poker and win. But it's like with all the tech, it's like the poker industry is kind of weird right now. I don't know if you've seen recent news, but there's like a huge story about like a poker scandal. Poker is becoming the reason I love poker so much was the human element, and that was so organic. And now it's like I don't know if I even trust playing poker. I wouldn't even trust playing poker in casinos anymore with all the cheating technology and things like that that's coming out. I think it takes the spirit out of the game, and it's sad. So it's like I
Yes.
don't know if it's a real dream anyone could have ever again with AI and all this stuff.
So what was the tables? It was like the tables they were able to see. Is I'm not talking about the same thing? They were able to see through the tables.
Yeah.
They had like an infrared table so they could see. Wow, yeah.
Yes.
It's really fascinating how these people, even if they have a lot of money, they will still try and scam. It's just like the basketball players that got caught up with the sports betting scandal. This dude's making like $30 million a year and still gets caught up in this betting scandal. It's like, dude, it's like, come on, you guys don't have enough money.
It's crazy. Yeah, that wasn't though. Just to clarify, it wasn't the World Series of Poker, but it was a scandal. Yeah, with some athletes and stuff, and the tables you could see people's cards and all kinds of like things that you wouldn't think of. You wouldn't think people would go that far, would they? Oh, but they would. And it's like, well, if they're doing this kind of shit and this kind of technology exists, I can never ever play a fair poker game ever again. So I don't know. Even if it's by a professional organization, I don't know if I could ever trust it. And I think it's sad because I'd rather play with them with my friends for pennies on a freaking during the holidays or something.
Yeah,
That's
house
more
table
of a
something,
fair game.
Yeah.
That's more of a fair game than playing in the casino. If they're cheap, they got the tables, they can read the cards, they're putting chips in the car, all kinds of shit that you wouldn't even think of. It's crazy, right? It takes the human element out of the game, so we don't even know who's good anymore. Because it's like, did they? Now you got that question, like, did they cheat? Like, did they have information? Like, it's sad, because I love poker because it used to be the only casino game you had to have a skill to win. That's why I liked it. You had to have a skill to win. You can't win if you're not skilled. You can't win a tournament if you're not skilled. And now it's like with all these technologies and shit, it just scares me. I don't want to play in the casinos anymore because it's like this technology exists. I'd be crazy to think they're not cheating.
Yeah, and it's funny, the exact thing that you're talking about right now, you could put that exact same breakdown on crypto in the trench. It's the same, it's literally kind of almost the same thing. It's like you're kind of playing against sometimes the house, and the house is these projects that
Never
are,
loses.
and the house never loses. They're just like, they're gotcha. And it's like, what I've learned over being in crypto Twitter and just also in just crypto, making content, trying, being a content creator, is that this market will, and I saw this post, can't remember exactly who posted, I think it might have been the White Whale, said that the market will extract your emotions first, then your capital second. And I was like, damn, that's so true. You get you buttered up, to get you emotional, to get you to get this emotional response with the dopamine, and then they come for the capital. It's like, it's first emotions, then the capital. But so if you can break that cycle of getting so emotional and letting something like crypto Twitter get to you, you'll kind of you'll go back to your roots, and you'll go back to what is really kind of what got you into crypto to begin with. And it was like buying and hodling crypto, also making money, take profits, but also hopefully survive, survive the volatility.
Yeah, I think it's more of because I have an audience on crypto Twitter. It's more about steering people in the right direction if you're a good, honest person with morals, and making sure you're vocal and transparent. It's not about like, I think that was important. We said don't let people get to you. Yeah, because there are a bunch of yoo-hoos anyway. Like, what have you even done? They've half of these people who like to talk, and they talk. They haven't done shit. They haven't built anything on chain. They've done absolutely nothing. They've never built a business before. And, so you can't let the trolls on Twitter, they're talking shit because they have nothing else to do and they don't know anything better. So that's why they do. Like, I'm somebody who I've never said anything publicly bad about anybody. I would never do that. Like, it is rare to find people like me who have those kind of values. Like, I would never do that. And I would never, like, especially an innocent person. That's just not who I am. Those aren't my values, right? But I am somebody where if somebody crossed the line, I will defend myself. And that's where you see, with people who try me, that's where they're going to get in trouble with me, because they think that
Yeah.
she's going to just whatever. If you do cross the line, I will defend myself, and I am
You would
a
defend your
force
honor.
to be reckoned with. Let me tell you,
No.
if I'm coming at it, I'm coming at it with fury, and people will be sorry. You should never attack an innocent person unless you're willing to deal with the consequences.
Yeah,
I
it's
will
funny.
say.
I told my wife before going on. I was telling her that I was interviewing you, and I was saying Ragzy's sharp. She's sharp as a tack. She's a no bullshit lady. But I was like, that's exactly why I'm getting her on the stream, because that's who I like. And so I'm glad that, well, hopefully now you're in my circle. You're gonna be in my circle now. So now I need to not make you mad, so then you come at me.
Nobody gets me mad. I'm like the nicest, coolest person. Everybody loves me. If you hate me, there's something wrong with you. Everyone loves me. I'm awesome. I celebrate everyone's wins. I'm an artist. I'm a free thinker. The only reason I wouldn't is if you're attacking an innocent person for absolutely no reason, out of greed, out of jealousy, whatever. I've never done that to anybody. I wouldn't do that. Very likable person. I have far, far more friends than enemies. People just want to make an enemy out of me, right? Because maybe I'm where they wish they could be. Maybe they wish they thought of an idea. Maybe they wish it was their idea. Maybe they wish they wrote that thesis because it was so good. Or maybe they
Yeah.
wish they made that art piece because it was so good. And they just like to take a swing. And I think it's also a big part of it's because I'm female. It's easier to take a swing at a female when you're a little beta. They wouldn't dare do that to a dude.
Yeah.
They wouldn't dare say certain things to a dude, but they will. But it's like, for me, I'm just cool with everyone. I celebrate everyone. I just give my opinions, my thoughts, my ideas. People either like it and they don't, or they don't, and they can disagree with me. Like, disagreeing with me is different than flat out being malicious and attacking. And I respect people who disagree with me. I've had a lot of productive arguments on the timeline where people disagree. But
Yeah.
people just get out of line on X. That's just how they are. But then I'm looking at the person. I'm like, this person isn't successful, because, like, who sits here and does this? So I'm already looking at them like, you're not on my level to begin with, because I wouldn't do that. So it's like people who are successful or making it, they're not going to sit there and craft, punches at people and then throw the punch. I'm busy making money. I'm busy looking for the next trench play. I'm
Yeah.
busy doing art
No,
installations. I'm a
that's
busy woman. You feel
yeah,
me?
that's what I
So,
always say about the people that are out there protesting with a lot of these different protests. I'm like, how do you have the time to go out there and protest for hours and hold a sign? You obviously don't have a job and you're not working on anything. And if you really want to make change, you'll get your money up and start a foundation and go and do something in the community. But no, you're out there screaming with the sign. But I digress on that one.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think it's cool when people express themselves, but then I think that's what I'm saying. Just on crypto Twitter, I think it's a lot of malicious. Like people get jealous or they're down bad or anything for $1, right? And they'll craft these things and they have just no shame in doing it. That person's never going to be successful. I don't care if they make. This is the thing I was explaining to my audience on TikTok. You could give the illusion you're successful, right? You'd be like, well, that's not true. This criminal made off with $150 million in the beginning, but I guarantee you they're gonna lose it, because I know that's not how money moves. There's energy in money. Money is one of the most energetic things on the planet. And if you're trying to get the money and you're trying to do it in a malicious, bad way, I don't care if a lot of these crypto scammers, they went off with $100 million. Eventually, they're going to lose it, every last cent. It always will come back, because that money is very karmic, you see. You can't make your money scamming. And even if they do, oh, I made $10 million scamming, they're going to lose it. It's going to be gone at some point, because the money is karmic. You can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you gotta have good. It's like good energy money. I think yeah, definitely believe in that, and that's kind of why I've operated the way I've operated. I want to keep a good integrity, reputation, and also a good perception. Because, like you said in the early, perception is everything. Once someone has a perceived notion of you, it's really hard to convince them otherwise. And so, if you can be as genuine as possible, and then just kind of weave through that, you're going to be really successful. And it might take a little bit. Maybe you didn't take the deal. Maybe you didn't do this thing that this other person you see is getting way ahead, because maybe they're cracking heads. Maybe they're being a little bit more aggressive. Maybe they're okay with, stepping on the other guy. But if you can have a little bit of integrity, there's definitely a happy balance of being able to navigate it. But yeah, I think you're doing a good job. You do a pretty good job. Not too bad.
Yeah, I've been doing so much, right? I do crypto because I love it, and it's a hot and meme coins is a hobby, right? It just happens to be a hobby that pays well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I love, the arts, which is why I love memes. Memes are my favorite category of crypto, because I'm an artist in real life, right? So it's like,
Yeah, it's hard not to like memes. I mean, you get into
yeah,
crypto and you're an artist or you've been a musician or any kind of thing like that, like the memes resonate with us. We can't help it. We can't help it. We'd be here if it was gonna make us money or not. That's kind of the sad part.
yeah, and
we
it's
we'd be
like,
here no matter what.
no, dude, 100%. And it's like, it's not wild to think like the world-class professional artists happen to pick all the blue chips correctly. It makes sense, because I have an eye for for what's going to work. And part of my art is storytelling and narratives. So of course she's going to pick really good narratives, right? It all, like, my personality just makes sense in the meme realm of crypto. But I always tell my audience, and I'm always upfront and transparent, is like, crypto is one of those industries you could lose everything. I think people come here because they fantasize of this idea of making a lot of money, but it's not that easy, and you could lose everything. It's just like
100%.
gambling at the poker table, the casino. You could lose
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
dollar, and it's not an investment. And people get mad at me for saying that, like, invest. You will not find a single TikTok in 6 years where I said crypto is an investment. It's not an investment to me. It's gambling, because something could go wrong with the software. It's not even losing your money. Like, something could go wrong with the software or the technology. There's just so many things that could go wrong. So it really, really is gambling to me, and people disagree with me on that, but that is how I view it, and that's how I place my bets. It's always what I'm willing to lose, and I never assume the odds are in my favor, and I never assume that I'm going to win. That's like a poker 101. Never assume the odds are in your favor and never assume you're going to win. That's how you end up losing big time. And people do that in the crypto industry. They assume that it's going to work out for them.
Yes, yes, it's 100%. Yeah, I had to tell myself that very early. I said, I know this is gonna be a very risky game that I'm going into. It's a new industry. Anything that's new like this, new, it's. I mean, I have this theory, and it's not a theory. I mean, it's just like it's kind of obvious at this point that everything's going on the blockchain. We're getting TradFi and Web3 combination. We got the stablecoin super cycle. I mean, we can get into all that, but that's not what this live stream is about. But it's yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a major long play. But all in between that, you're going to have things that you can gamble on, and you can take your chances. The risk is a lot higher when you start getting into what you're doing, meme coin trading. But then I do think there is a level of investing, because if you can truly have the justification of why you are going into this, just like anyone is in quote investing in the stock market or whatever these companies are, they have all their figures of why they're doing it and why this could be the company to quote invest in, like Amazon. Amazon had its FUD too. I give this example of Amazon is from a 20-year point has gone up 68,000%. So if you're long playing the thesis that humans are lazy, they're probably going to do everything, order it online. They're going to order everything. And then to even go as further, Amazon took it to the next level and took over the whole internet and cloud-based AWS services. So then that was a major investment, but also it's kind of a gamble at the same time, because everyone was saying the internet's going to be a massive bubble. It's going to pop. You're going to get destroyed. And then you kind of had to go through and hold through that volatility. So I think crypto is going to get to that point where it's like 5-10 years down the line. It's not a gamble. It's not a speculation. It's just like, oh, this is just commonplace, common day. But we're early as hell, so seems like a gamble,
Yeah, no, yeah, that sounded about right to me. I do got another, I guess, a call coming up at 1.
Oh yeah, no, I kept you for so
No,
long.
I had fun. I had fun with you though. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you had me on. I loved all the marketing for it. It was great. I loved it. It's fun. I like the rant. The meme points. You got to rant a little bit because that's the nature of the industry. It's very like
Yeah.
bloody. But I don't think the bull run's over. I think we got an extended run just because of the way the rates were cut, which is risky to say, right? Because a lot of people think we're about to go on a full blown bear, but I don't believe that. So I just gotta
Yeah.
say what I believe. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I gotta be transparent. I really still don't actually believe it's over. I can't tell people what to do, but that's why I'm still bidding stuff, because I think that especially altcoins, I think we're gonna get an ETH run. And then I still think we're gonna get that ETH run, and then I think we're gonna get an alt run, and then I think that certain memes that are proved that have been stress tested that are still around, like Brett, since the beginning of the bull, those ones are still gonna run. That's just my opinion. So I'm excited. I think it's like kind of a drag right now, right? Because we were all like.
Yeah.
October, yeah, and then by week 2, it was just like not.
We should have known though, because we're all saying October. It starts pumping hard in the first 3 days. We should have known that the market was going to chop us at the knees. Like we got so excited, we're like, oh, we're finally in the party, and then they're like, they got us. They got us.
But we'll see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just give my opinion. Nobody has to agree with me on the meme coins I picked. But there's reasons why I pick things. I'm just always clear whenever I'm like on a show or on Twitter. There's actual reasons why I pick things, because people assume because my audience is huge that I'm a paid KOL representing different projects, but that's not actually true. So that's why I'm very clear on why I pick the things. And then people might not like the narrative or the reason why, and they might disagree with me, and it's entitled to their opinion. I would never tell anybody what to do with their money. I think it's weird. I'll do with my money what I want, but if people don't agree and they're like, no, she's wrong about this or that, then do what you want with your money.
It's DeFi. It's DeFi. Yeah, you could be a NFT maxi. You could be a ordinals I mean, whatever you want to do, whatever you could do, whatever you want, but have a good argument to back it up. Besides getting paid to talk about it. That's all. That's, I think, what ultimately, have a good argument to back up why you're buying it. Besides getting paid thousands of dollars, to talk about it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
just crypto Twitter's just again like so crazy like that, and it's just hilarious,
Yeah.
hilarious to me. But thank you so much for having
You
me.
are
I
you are
had a
very welcome.
blast. I had a
Very, very
blast.
welcome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for giving me the time. I really appreciate it, and we definitely have to do this again. And thank you to everyone who tuned in and was commenting. Thanks to all the people that are watching on X, YouTube. I think I managed to get it on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and on X. So
Okay.
all those people are going to be learning about you if they didn't know who you are. So
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you.
yeah, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. And thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, yeah. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, yeah. Peace out.
Bye bye.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Isn't she cool? She's super cool. So, like, as Ragzy is someone who I just kind of had in my radar for over the past like 2.5 years. And so I said, I've got to get her on the stream, got to have like a full on convo. And I had a blast. I'm really glad I got her on. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for humoring me for having a guest on the show today. And if you're watching on X, make sure you are reposting it, hit that heart button. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure before you leave, you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, ding the bell, because whenever I do these things, you want to be notified immediately. And you want to share this with someone who is just kind of, maybe wanted to dip their toe into crypto and to start to navigate, like, where do I even start? This would be a great stream for them to watch. Gives them a perspective into someone who started their career with Legos. Something like pretty hard career to tap into is to get famous and make money, building Lego structures. And then to segue right into another really tough industry in crypto and be successful. So to watch this, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn how you can navigate and just build a bag that you believe in. And so that was the whole point why I wanted to talk to Regs. I knew she'd have some gems. She'd have some really good observations on her journey and how she's been navigating this ecosystem. So thank you, Ragzy. Really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Peace out.